Previously on White Collar.
Curtis Hagen was granted early release from prison today.
The Moscone Codex. You only risk jail for a little light reading.
Special Agent David Siegel.
He must be my new handler.
Must be. His name Teddy Winters mean anything to you?
They found me.
Well, we kept you out of prison.
Yeah, that cost me everything.
The Codex.
This relationship is fucking wonderful.
When does it end?
When I get what I want. We'll find out who did this, Neil. I promise.
David Siegel, found on the corner of Linden and Central in Bushwick. Cause of death was a gunshot wound to the sternum. He bled out instantly. We retrieved a shell casing from the scene, 9mm caliber round from a Smith & Wesson 539 series. This image was taken from a traffic cam in the area. The subject is still unidentifiable. 15 days have passed, and we're no closer to figuring out who did this and why. The working theory stands that Agent Siegel was a victim of an indiscriminate mugging gone wrong. His wallet and firearm are still missing. Our division has dedicated all of its resources to this investigation. But the truth is, we had caseloads beforehand, and those caseloads still need to be resolved. So, the Joint Operations Center will remain in this building, and a team of agents will continue to pursue all leads. The remainder of you will resume your active assignments. The best way we can honor David Siegel is by doing our jobs. Counseling remains available to anyone who still needs to talk. That's all.
You okay?
Yeah. What's going on?
You got any updates on Caffrey's status?
His house arrest is still in effect.
Well, you can't stay there forever if you're gonna use him. He needs a handler.
Bonsoir.
What's with the bathrobe?
The water pressure's weak in the guest room. I needed to borrow your shower.
How much longer are you staying here?
Just until I get myself on some financially secure footing. Okay if I air dry on the terrace?
No, Maz. Tell me how I can help.
Big Brother burned through all of my resources. No safe houses, no capital. What's worse, the Federal Bureau of Invasion has confined you to this impenetrable dog pound.
It's my apartment.
A sublimely spacious cell.
Does that make you my cellmate?
I prefer the term misincarcerated.
That sounds like you just want a prison pageant.
A, I could. B, I'll think of a better term. Still working on the Codex?
I'm trying to keep my mind occupied.
And it's not working.
I can't stop thinking about Siegel. Can't stop wondering if it was my fault in any way. If Hagen somehow found...
Stop. Right there.
The body was found in Bushwick. That's where Hagen and I met a few hours earlier. It's not a coincidence.
Coincidence is fate's favorite tool. You're condemning yourself because there's no one else to blame.
I can't do anything while I'm stuck here. I'd be better off with a new handler or even thrown back in prison.
The suit will never let that happen.
New assignment?
The department needs a few wins right now.
Is that why you called me in?
We're going back to work.
We? Oh, Peter, thank you, but you don't have to do that for me.
I'm ASAC. I make decisions around here, and I've decided that I'm going to actively pursue investigations. That's what we do.
Where do we start?
Accounting scam.
Can we start over?
You don't get to choose. I choose.
Our first case should be a good one.
This is a good one. Now look at here.
I just fell asleep.
I'm cooperating. Calm down, I'm gonna throw you in cuffs.
Hey, what's going on?
I strolled into the lobby 2 minutes ago. Said he needs to talk to the FBI. Found this on him.
You need to confess to a crime.
Looks like it is going to be a good one.
Nate Griffith, in and out of lockup since '98. Like to knock off banks for a while there, didn't you?
That was a long time ago, okay? I had dues to pay, and I paid him. Look, I've been trying to do right by my family ever since.
Your family?
I've got a son, Andrew. He's 7.
Why don't you walk me through this?
Okay. So I heard about this securities vault in Manhattan. It supposedly had $2 million in cash in it.
Who told you about it?
Just heard. I don't know.
Look, the more you withhold...
I'm not trying to, I swear.
What's the name of the company?
It's Kaplan Securities. So I figured out how to bypass the lock system in the rear of the building. I just went straight to the vault and I cleaned it out.
What did you use to crack the vault?
I think I had the combination.
Think?
Look, I'm telling you the truth. All right, look, you gotta understand, this whole thing, it's like some sort of bad dream. It's only coming back to me in bits and pieces. Because all I know is that I couldn't stop.
Where is the rest of that money?
It's in Grand Central, in the locker, in number 941.
Combination. Yeah, see, this isn't a game. With your priors, you're looking at 10 years.
I know that. Look, an hour ago, I was walking to Grand Central to get the rest of the cash, and I kept thinking about what I'd done, how I'd broken that promise to myself and my family, and then bam, I get hit by this cab out of nowhere. That's how I got this. It was a wake-up call. I cannot set a good example for my son if all I'm going to do is relapse.
We found those in Griffith's bag. Could explain his behavior.
He's got a pill for every color of the rainbow. Xanax, Valium, Ativan.
Heavy doses, too, all authorized by the same psychiatrist, Dr. Morris Summers.
Here, drink this.
Thanks. You don't seem like these other guys.
That's because I'm not. In fact, I used to be a lot like you.
You robbed banks?
I did a lot of things. Point is, I was able to turn myself around just like you're trying to do. Look, you can be straight with me. Is there anything else you remember?
I know you're trying to help me, but I honestly can't, Mr. Caffrey.
Don't ever call me Mr. Caffrey. It's Neil. Come on.
All right, keep looking. Update me in 20. I sent a team to check the lockers at Grand Central. There's nothing there.
This gets stranger by the minute. I don't like it.
Really? Guy walks into the FBI with stacks of cash and begs you to cuff him. I think that was your catnip.
I don't have catnip.
Oh, everybody has catnip.
Yeah, what's yours?
Real Housewives. Can't get enough.
Money has Griffith's prints all over it. We're running the serial numbers.
What do you have?
Texture feels funny. The top left corner of every bill. I'm gonna need a closer look. Marked bills. Cash could have been used in a controlled buy or payoff.
Or it's from another score.
Is it possible our guy stole money that was already stolen? I think Neil and I should check out that vault. FBI, here to see the manager?
That's him there. Familiarize yourself with the database, starting with the client roster on your desktop. After that, I want you to categorize this month's financial packages by date and time. Are you getting all of this?
Yes, sir.
Good. Back to your desk then. Apologies, gentlemen. It's his first day. How can I help you?
Special Agent Peter Burke, and this is my coworker, Neil Caffrey. We're here about the break-in that happened last week.
Break-in.
This morning, a known felon walked into our offices to confess to emptying the contents of vault number 4.
Oh, impossible. None of our clients have reported anything missing. And I assure you, our security is top-notch.
Actually, you could use an upgrade. The UL approval on your vault is Class 1. That means they can be breached in 30 minutes or less. I mean, you need the right cutting wheel and carbide drill, of course. My advice, go Class 3.
Could I see the vault?
We're very protective about our clients' possessions and anonymity. Without a warrant, this is all the info I can give you. Feel free to call if you have further questions. Gentlemen.
If the cash in the vault was illegally obtained, it makes sense that whoever owns it would want to report it missing.
Unless they want to go to prison, too. But this is all speculative. Not good enough for a warrant.
Lewis?
If we can't get a look at the vault, maybe we can find out who owns it.
Lewis! Thank you.
What's the play?
Well, Kaplan Securities is going to have more than one new employee today. You still have that brochure? Thanks. Okay.
Watch your fingers.
Peter?
You've done this before.
Instant glue. No, it'll do in a pinch.
You frighten me.
Actually, you're usually the frightening one. You have any pictures in your wallet?
Can I help you?
Eric Roberts, I'm your supervisor.
Mr. Epstein didn't say anything about you. I have to call him.
What, you and Mr. Epstein are the only employees here? Look, I know you have those financial packages to work on, but this man takes precedence. Mr. Wilcox is a premier importer and exporter up and down the East Coast, and he'd like to open an account.
He would.
That means startup papers.
That is in protocol. We have a system.
You better make this work.
Very good, Mr. Wilcox. I've been here for 5 years. You've been here for 5 seconds. Startup paperwork. Third office, down the hall, left-hand side.
Of course. I'll be right back.
Vault number 4. Keep a lookout.
Yeah. Technically, I should get a court order to go through that computer.
Good thing your CI doesn't need one.
Neil.
There are 250 clients in this database, narrowing it down by vault number. I found it. Vault number 4. It's strange. It's not registered to a person.
To what then?
To a corporation, Night Owl Holdings.
Thank you very much, sir. It's good enough.
Lewis?
It's a dummy court. Someone is using Night Owl as a front.
Whoever Griffith stole from covered their identity nicely.
Gentlemen, I got a lead on those marked bills. 2 months ago, a Manhattan Mutual truck was cleaned out. That's the bank's policy to mark all currency in case any kind of theft occurs. NYPD had a suspect. Just couldn't nail him.
Shane Jacoby, priors for assault.
And likely CEO of Night Owl Holdings.
Well, Griffith and Jacoby don't know each other, but they're linked. How?
I might have found that link. Shane Jacoby received a court-ordered treatment from a psychiatrist who prescribed Griffith his meds.
And Dr. Morris Summers.
There are 5 common stages to ICD, beginning with the impulse and ending with guilt, or lack thereof. It is that final
Is an interesting area of expertise.
I can see why Griffith went to her.
I found the patient who experiences guilt from his actions is most likely to fall back into the original destructive pattern. This is generally the case with the bulk of reformed criminals I've worked with in my studies. More on that in tomorrow's lecture. Thank you all for coming.
She's got clients prone to commit crimes, and she's got access to their heads. She could be manipulating them.
Or she could just be doing her job.
Only one way to find out.
Thank you.
Dr. Summers.
I'm sorry, you are...
My name's Neil Caffrey. I'm a convicted felon, and I need your help. Your work and research on ICD is impressive, to say the least.
I have a predilection for its study.
Oh, Dr. Summers, this is the man I told you about, Peter, my parole officer.
How long have you been keeping an eye on Mr. Caffrey?
Eternally, some might say.
I have to be honest. Most of my work with reformed criminals is pro bono. Right now, I simply don't have time to take on any new patients.
Oh, I'm not asking you for a free session.
I'm expensive.
Won't be a problem. Peter, would you mind briefly giving Dr. Summers my resume?
Briefly? Right. Well, Neil's been convicted of bond forgery. He's also been implicated in over 4 dozen works of counterfeit art. And there's also the fact that he's still a suspect in several ongoing, high-profile federal investigations.
For what exactly?
Pick something.
Bottom line, money may not be a problem for a guy like me.
I didn't hear that.
My office, 1 p.m. tomorrow.
I look forward to working with you.
Nice job. 2 criminals, same psychiatrist.
I think she's looking after herself more than her clientele.
It's possible she had a patient steal from another patient, but it's a how of all this that bothers me. You can't put the idea of a heist in someone's head without them knowing about it.
Peter, it's not that odd. Think of a number between 1 and 10.
No, I hate it when you
Just think of a number, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. You got it?
Yep.
Now say it out loud in your head. 777, for example.
I know what you're doing. It's not 7, Neil.
No, it's 9.
Okay, how did you do that?
Before I asked you to think of a number, I used the word odd in a sentence, so naturally you'll choose an odd number.
Then?
Then I made your mind subtly cross off options by saying 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 loud.
Which leaves the numbers 1 and 9.
And nobody chooses 1 because it's too obvious. 9 is more obscure, so that's what you go with.
That's good. Okay, but the point of all this.
In less than 20 seconds, I got you to the number I wanted. Now think of Griffith and Summers. With that much time and influence, she could make him do anything she wanted. This guy's innocent.
I need more, Neil. When you're with Summers, find something tangible that links her or Griffith to Jacoby's cash.
What are you gonna do?
I've got Shane Jacoby's work address. I'm gonna go down there and see if I can find a connection between him and Night Owl Holdings. Neil, be careful. I do not want this therapist getting inside your head.
Please. I'm a wall.
Really?
Tell me, what kind of change are you looking to make with your life?
Guess I'm looking for some normalcy. Thank you.
And what if that's not possible?
That doesn't sound very encouraging.
I'm not here to encourage you. I'm here to help you discover the truth about yourself so you can accept it.
I have to accept that I can't be normal?
You're too interesting to be normal.
What makes me so interesting?
Your pathological assumption that you need to be the smartest person in the room at all times.
Maybe you're the one assuming things. According to all these diplomas on your wall, you're a lot smarter than me. But then again, those are just papers, not people.
Do you think you're good with people?
No more than you.
It's my job.
Mine too. You have an aggressive approach.
And you're already withholding. But that's natural. We need to know one another better to build trust.
You don't think I'm being honest?
Not yet. But you will be. In time.
Mr. Jacoby! Peter Burke, FBI.
What do you want?
I'd like to talk to you regarding your vault at Kaplan Security.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, let's try that again. Where were you on September 4th of this year?
NYPD tried to pin that truck on me. They had nothing. Same as you.
All right, calm down.
I don't like accusations.
Well, then you shouldn't be a criminal.
Especially don't like that accusation.
It's not an accusation, that's a fact. Read your rap sheet. Aggravated assault. He busted the nose of a security guard and 3 of his fingers.
That's not who I am anymore.
Tell me about Night Owl Holdings.
Never heard of that either. You're talking to the wrong guy, Agent Burke.
Doubtful, but one more question. How did those court-ordered anger management sessions go with Dr. Maris Summers?
Either take me in on something, or let me get on with my day.
Nice hat. You went to Brooklyn Residential High. What sport's your boy?
All state and wrestling. Are we done?
Not quite, but you can get on with your day now, Mr. Jacoby. Oh, you know that vault that was in Kaplan Security, the one with the $2 million cash in it? It's all gone now. But you knew that. Well, you didn't know that. Well, now you do. Have a good day.
Job.
Confined.
Jealousy.
Weak.
Money.
Prop.
Women.
Hope.
Peter.
Worthy.
Theft.
Capable.
Caught.
Oops. You make something from that?
It's too early to diagnose.
But you've got something.
Your answers are unique in summation.
I assure you I can handle it, Doctor.
Your behavior is sociopathic.
I'm sorry.
You work on perception, the perception of others, how you think they'll feel. This influences your actions and thoughts more so than your own emotions. Deceit and manipulation are the essential characteristics of the disorder. You excel at both.
Deceit and manipulation are generalities that can apply to anyone who lies, and everyone lies, including you, Dr. Summers.
That may be true, but not everyone believes their own lies.
Why would I delude myself?
Because you don't want anyone to see your vulnerabilities.
I don't strike you as confident.
Confident people admit to their flaws. You don't. Instead, you smile a lot.
You're confident? What are your flaws?
I can be aggressive, like you pointed out earlier. I also pick at my nails when I get nervous.
Nobody's perfect.
Precisely. The harder a person fights to be perfect, the more he suppresses his true nature.
I'm reformed.
Are you? Just because a person starts doing good things doesn't mean he wants to stop doing bad things.
Of course not. Because everyone has done something bad at some point in their life, even you.
This is not about me.
I thought confident people could admit to their flaws.
You're redirecting?
So are you.
Because you're uncomfortable.
You don't think that I can change.
I'm asking if you really want to.
I'm sorry. I don't feel well.
Like I said, try to relax. I have a few more questions for you.
What's happening?
We're using a new form of therapy.
You drugged me.
I'm helping you. What I want is for you to simply tell me the truth about who you are, what you really do, and why you're really here. I'm ready to begin when you are. Neil, you okay?
What happened?
We began to practice hypnotherapy technique. You were out for quite some time. You had trouble waking.
You sure?
Perhaps you could use something to eat or a glass of water?
No, I should go.
Would you like me to call you a cab?
No. I'm fine.
Peter.
Yeah.
Got this from Brooklyn Residential's archives. You and Jacoby graduated.
That's him. That's Team that won All-State, the Owls. I remember the mascot when I saw his hat.
Championship year for the Owls, led by team captain Shane Jacoby, known for his aggressive takedowns and late-night practices, earning him the nickname the Night Owl.
And there is our link to Night Owl Holdings. Call NYPD, have our nostalgic friend brought in.
Sounds good. Summers is on to me.
What are you talking about? How?
I don't know, but she dosed me with something. She got me to talk. I can't even remember what I said to her. I passed out.
Do you know what it was?
No, I have no idea. She must have slipped it into my water.
Okay, we're gonna get you a tox screen ASAP. Pete, if that's the case, we have enough to arrest Summers right now.
If we bring her in now, there's a good chance we won't find the money she stole. Griffith won't be cleared.
Griffith. That's how she made you.
Yeah, I saw Dr. Summers again.
And you told her I was an FBI agent.
Yeah, and he's a consultant.
What are you up to?
Nothing. I didn't know you were investigating her. How could I have known? I had to talk to someone after everything that happened.
Jacoby's not at his residence or any known location. Looks like he went off grid. I have to track him down.
Look, I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
Look, you did the right thing, coming here.
Only after the fact. What if I can't change? What if I can't be anything more than
A criminal.
Good night, Cinderella.
What?
Oh, it's a drug. Good night, Cinderella. It's most likely what Summers spiked your drink with. Very popular with the working girls of Rio. I've heard stories.
You've heard them or have them?
What's the difference?
The difference is you've been using my towels. What did you put in my fridge?
Oh, I made some hanjeo.
Can you please unmake it?
It's a delicacy. It's a rotted Korean skatefish. Fantastic with kimchi and rice wine. I thought you'd like some.
All right, if you were going to live here, you can no longer cook here.
Jealous of my refined palate?
I am surprised that one even exists. Good night, Cinderella. You were saying.
Oh, it's a combination of GHB, ketamine, and flunitrazepam. The girls give it to their johns, and then they do whatever they want while under the influence. Empty out their bank accounts, hand them the keys to their car. Next day, most guys don't recall anything happening. They just chalk it up to having too much fun.
And you think Summers knows about this?
Well, anything's possible with pharmacology.
She's a psychiatrist. She does have a degree in the field.
She's working with so many so-called criminals. She could have picked up a trick or two.
I need to find out what I told her. I could have told her everything. And not just about this case. What if I said something about Hagen or Siegel?
There's a way to find out. RMT, recovered memory therapy.
What do you know about it?
It's simple. I drink too much wine, I forget things. In order to remember them, I drink more wine.
I'm sure you do.
To recover a memory, it's often most effective to recreate the conditions one was experiencing at the time of that memory's loss.
So what you're saying is I need to go back down the rabbit hole? Look, even if I were going to consider this, would you be able to find this stuff on the street?
No, of course not. I'd have to make it for you.
You're sure this is the exact combination that Summers used?
Pretty sure. One of the few certainties in life is that persons of certainty should certainly be avoided.
That does not make me feel better.
Okay, I made a few modifications. I added a mild stimulant to prolong your vision quest.
Great.
The more time you spend awake in this altered state, the better our chances of success.
And there are no lasting effects?
No, in fact, you'll be in complete control of your faculties, thanks to my added potassium stimulant.
As long as I wake up when it's over.
Neil, you'll be fine. I am your Sherpa guide, your spirit animal for this fantastic voyage you're about to embark upon. Trust me, this is the solution.
Buenas noches, Cinderella.
Remember the office, the shapes, the textures, view. Dr. Summers is sitting across from you. She's waiting for you to lose your inhibitions. What does she say?
I'm ready to begin when you are. Take a deep breath and stay calm. You won't remember what you tell me once the narcotic wears off.
Did she ask you any questions?
She wanted to...
What does the FBI know?
Everything.
What can the FBI prove? Nothing.
Did you ask her any questions?
You stole the $2 million. Why?
For the same reason you steal.
Because it was there.
It was there.
This isn't gonna work. I can't think straight.
That's exactly the point. Think circular.
No, I mean Summers. She was right. I'm not reformed. I mean, I like doing the things I do. You know, I like working with Peter. I like working with the FBI.
Okay, that's simply the drug
But
stuff.
I also like working against them. I like doing things I shouldn't, and I don't feel guilty. I don't feel remorse. I don't feel anything except...
Okay, too much stimulant.
Maybe you should take some of the solution, too. Yeah, it could help you remember.
Remember what?
Who you are. What are you doing here, Maj? You should be out on the streets rebuilding yourself. You were smart. You were resourceful. You can do anything without a height requirement.
It isn't so easy.
Has Big Brother really finally just cornered you into defeat?
I'm going to get a pen and write some of this down for research.
Go.
Okay, we should take it from... Oh, no.
Neil, what are you doing here? No, I just came to get some stuff off my chest. I was in 7th grade. I didn't know any better, but the money was sticking out of her purse, and boop, mine. It was the same thing with the Greedo self-portrait in Belize. I mean, I wasn't taking it out of a purse. It was more like a highly secured wing of a Central American Antiquities Center. Am I talking too much?
Is he okay?
I have no idea.
I am conducting an experiment. Trying to remember what I said to Summers when I was under. It's hot in here.
What did you do?
I talked to Mozzie, and he gave me a solution, and I drank that solution.
I don't understand.
He drugged himself in some ridiculous experiment to recreate what he said to the psychiatrist.
Neil, are you hungry? You look like you could use something to eat.
I'm actually not hungry right now, but if you have any of those fantastic game hens you make, maybe later. Oh, no meatloaf, though. I'm not a fan.
Honey, could you excuse us? Neil, do you know what happened to Siegel? You're not answering my question. Siegel.
I don't know what happened, and...
What aren't you telling me, Neil?
Oh, good. For the love of Thoreau, you can't simply wander off into the woods like that.
What are you doing in my house?
He ran away, like an impudent child chasing after an untethered balloon.
What happened?
We tried something, and it worked. He was starting to remember parts of the conversation when Summers had him under, but you only have about 15 minutes left at best. Then he's going to want nap time.
All right, let's do this. Neil?
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Just try to remember where you left off.
What does the FBI know?
Summers asked me what the FBI knew. She realized we have nothing.
What did she ask next?
She asked about...
Griffiths, will the FBI prosecute?
They will soon.
That's good, Neil. Stay focused.
After that, she stood up
Where did you go?
to make a phone call.
Who did you call?
That's the number she dialed. It was a 212 area code. 3 5s. 01.
2 more digits, Neil.
01. 84.
Nice work. Let's find out who she called.
This is Jacoby. Leave a message.
She called Shane Jacoby. Neil, we're gonna have to grab you a blanket.
I'll take him.
What, are you gonna carry him?
I'll have you know I've been doing a lot of wrist curls.
You've done plenty. I'll take care of it. Jones, hey, I want to see Griffith tomorrow. I need you to come with me.
Now's not really a good time.
Make time.
You don't know Shane Jacoby?
I told you guys no, I don't.
Well, he may know about you. Summers made contact with him yesterday.
I've told you everything that I can. I'm really sorry, guys, but you're gonna have to leave. I have to pick up my kid from school.
Just had to follow up on this. We're doing everything we can to figure out what's going on here.
You don't waste our time, Mr. Griffith. We won't waste yours.
I'm telling you the truth.
I believe you. And I know that you have to see your kid, so we'll be on our way. But if anything should come up, make sure you call us. You got it?
Yeah, got it.
We'll be in touch.
All right, they're gone.
What's happening?
It's okay, buddy. Back up. Yeah. You okay?
Supposed to tell me where you stashed my $2 million.
Otherwise.
Otherwise what? Put your hands in the air and let go of that kid now.
Peter, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Get him out of here. Remember when I said we weren't done?
Now we're done.
All right, first time out, Summers manipulates Griffith to steal from Jacoby.
Then she turns it around. She steers Jacoby towards Griffith.
Well, it makes sense on her part. Jacoby tries to kill Griffith, lands himself in jail, and she walks with the money.
There's still no physical evidence pointing towards Summers, only psychological manipulation.
What's our best option?
Find the money, which is probably well hidden, or get a confession out of Summers, which is all the more unlikely.
Not necessarily. There's always a solution.
I'm glad to see you're feeling better.
I got a new perspective on things.
Tell me about that.
Well, I can admit that I don't know if I can control my natural impulses, but that lack of control doesn't make me feel helpless.
How does it make you feel then?
Free.
So you admit you still like to commit criminal acts?
I'm going to commit one right now, as a matter of fact. Where's the money? The money you had Griffith steal? You can play dumb all you want, Doctor, but it won't last long. The drugs will take effect soon.
That's not possible. I removed the water bottles and poured it myself.
You'd be surprised how easy it is to reseal a plastic lid. Are you picking your fingernails, Doctor? Because that would mean you're nervous. Are you nervous?
You can't do this to me.
Tell me where the money is.
The FBI will never find it.
No, they won't. I am a criminal, after all. You helped me realize that, so thank you, Doctor. All I need from you is a confession. I'm ready to begin when you are.
Dr. Morris Summers, you're under arrest for theft, possession of illegal narcotics, and malpractice.
On the basis of what?
Your confession.
I knew Shane Jacoby stole that money. Idiot may as well have had guilty tattooed across his forehead. I followed him to the vault where he hid the cash. This isn't legal. You drugged me.
I think you mean you accidentally drugged yourself. We're going to do a tox screen on you that's probably going to match the unprescribed cocktail you dosed Neil with at his session.
And in trying to drug me again, Peter's going with the theory that you made the mistake of switching bottles, inadvertently harming yourself.
That sounds about right. Take her.
Ma'am? You do understand you'll never be anything more than what you are.
But at least I'm free, which is more than I can say for you.
Come with me.
So that's it? I'm in the clear?
Bureau's not pressing any charges due to the psychological duress you were under at the time.
Thank you. Thank you. Of course. No. Thank you for showing me that guys like us can be more than what we were.
Good luck.
Seems like he's feeling better.
Yeah. How about you? How's it feel to close the case again?
I'm not so sure the case is closed. Summers cracked and told us where she hid the $2 million, but when we went to retrieve it, it wasn't there.
Good thing we got a confession.
You're telling me I can have this?
Consider it an apology for all the things I said the other night.
They were things I needed to hear. It's time to rebuild the empire, my friend.
Word of caution, the bills are marked.
I can get 50 cents on the dollar. Still a pretty good haul.
I figured it wouldn't be a problem.
This is illegally obtained contraband from one of your very own suit's federal investigations. So why'd you take it?
Because it was there.
One day I'll find the right words, and they will be simple.
Kerouac.
Yeah, can't get much simpler than that.
Now for guys like us.
Guys like us. You coming back to the life? So what's your first plan of action?
Change the state of play. I've been serving too many masters. I'm through being everyone's puppet.
Hagen, the FBI. What strings exactly do you plan on cutting?
When the time comes, all of them.
Next Thursday, To Catch an Imposter.
Family's fortune is at stake.
Guess who's playing undercover butler?
Nice uniform, slick.
Maybe I'll see how French that maid really is.
If you find anything, you pull me in.
I'm a butler. I'm trained for this.
White Collar. All new episode next Thursday at 9. Only on USA. Characters welcome.